what's up?
How's it going? I am the dad, he is
the lad.
And this week we are going head to head for the YouTube
Championship.
So then, this week you've got a challenge for me, have you, Bray?
Yeah, you have to set a world record.
I've got to set a world record?
Yeah.
What, so I've got to do something the world has never done before?
Yeah.
And if I do that, then I get the belt. That's all I have to do?
Yeah.
Okay then. I think I can do
and
that.
it has to be a Lego world record.
It has to be a Lego world record?
Yeah.
Okay then. Get out of here. I've got some thinking to do then. Okay then. Right. Lego world record. Let me have a little think. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and set the world record for the longest jump ever by a Lego vehicle. It ain't gonna be easy, but if I can do it, I finally get my hands on the belt. Right, let's give this a go. Why are we doing this? Well, so a couple of weeks ago, I bought my boy lad this new Lego set. And it's fine. It's fine. They did a fine job. Yeah, alright. It's a bit naff, but it did give me an idea.
Wait, is it a bad idea?
If there's two things I love in this life, it's Lego and monster trucks. Monster trucks are they're bags of fun, they're oversized, they're noisy, they're just American. But not in a bad way. Whereas this set, it's a bit understated. It was just a bit, apologetic. It was a bit more Danish. But I really like this set, and I can't help but wonder what it would be taken to the logical extreme. So if we're going to set a new world record, as far as I can tell, there are 4 things that we're going to have to get right. To the drawing board. Okay, so the first thing that we've got to get right is selecting the best Lego vehicle. My first intention was just to use the truck that came with the set, but I don't even like that set. It's naff, it's boring, it's a load of old cobblers. There's got to be a better Lego set with a better mix of weight and aerodynamics than this boring excuse of a set. The next thing that we've got to get right is building the perfect super ramp. This was the ramp that came with the set.
That is a disgrace.
No, that's not going to work. So if we're going to do this right, I think it's got to be 10 foot tall and it's got to look awesome. Next, you see this set threw a bit of a spanner into the works because it included the little flamey bits. I don't even know what they're supposed to be. So I was thinking a ring of fire to jump through. Yeah, that would be much more up my street. And finally, we've got to know what the record is. What is it that we're trying to beat? But at least that would be easy. Just a mere Google away. So what a good place to start. Dooby-doo, doo-doo-dooby-doo-doo. So, you know Guinness? Yeah, Guinness, the company that makes a drink that tastes a bit like a meaty puddle. Well, for some reason, Guinness, they have set themselves up as the collator of all the world's records. So, I jump on their website and I search longest jump by a Lego vehicle. No results found. What does that mean? Surely people have tried this before. But have I massively overthought this? Can I just use this set? Just 14 centimetres. There. Am I a world record holder? Can I rip up the record books? Can I put a smug picture of me on the front cover? Can I take my seat amongst the pantheon of the immortals? Amongst other record holders, like Joel Strasser, who holds the record for the most amount of candy canes stuck in his beard, or Anthony Kelly, who has the record for the most amount of hats worn at any one time. Well, no. So, if you want to set a new world record, what you've got to do is you've got to write to Guinness and tell them what you're going to do, and they write back to you, and then they set you a sufficiently ambitious target. So that's what I did. Dear Guinness, I'm a big fan of your delicious tasting beverage. It is my intention to blah 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 blah. You know the rest. So, it says on their website that it can take them about 12 weeks to get back to you, so whilst I wait, on to the next part. Dooby-doo. So, selecting the best LEGO vehicle would likely be the deciding factor between success and failure. It would also be arguably the hardest part as well, because with no hyperbole, LEGO have made thousands of LEGO vehicles to choose from. There are planes, there are trains, there are cars, there are helicopters, there's emergency vehicles. The list, it's seemingly endless. So my first thought was, if this set has got to fly off the end of a ramp, thought I'll be a bit of a clever dickie, I'm going to go with a plane. Yeah, one with nice big wings. But it turns out on this scale, they're just going to cause more drag than they would have any functional lift. So planes are out, and for that matter, so are helicopters and trains and a whole host of other ancillary vehicles. On a side note, LEGO, if you're starting to make vehicles that have alligator legs or a VW camper that's also a tortoise, you're probably running short on good ideas. The main criteria was to build up enough speed to propel itself off the end of the ramp and into the record books. Speed was crucial. Speed was king. So where better to start than the Speed Champions range? I love these sets. They're brilliant. They're full of Lambos and Ferraris and other gaudy nonsense. They're really fun to build. I'm a big fan of these sets. But there is a big problem. And this is far from a hot take, but LEGO breaks easily. Yeah, it's almost like it wasn't designed to hurtle towards the Earth from 10 feet. I briefly thought that this moon vehicle might be the answer. It has got proper sprung suspension, and I suppose if it's designed to traverse the unforgiving terrain of the moon, then it should be able to handle a leafy garden in the southeast of England. But no, it's got the same cardinal sin as the Speed Champions range. It just doesn't stay together well enough. The bonds aren't strong enough. And Mr. Guinness was never going to accept my record attempt if at the end it just burst into an explosion of plastic shrapnel. So is that it? Is that the reason that a record hasn't been set? Can it not be done? I think it really leaves us with only one option. It's a true last resort. LEGO Technic. I hate LEGO Technic. The instructions, they're hard to follow. It makes your thumbs hurt. It just doesn't have that same iconic, fun LEGO aesthetic. But you've got to give credit where it's due. It does stay together much better than traditional LEGO. And fortunately for this project, LEGO Technic really excels at vehicles. They make some smashing sets that don't smash when you smash them. They make some really large sets, and they make some cool smaller ones as well. I mean, the smaller ones, they're really clever with how they're put together. And the larger ones, they are fabulously detailed. They've got things like working steering and gears. I mean, they are genuinely very, very impressive. But for this project, they're just a bit over-engineered. So, for example, so we've got our ramp is a straight ramp. So anything with working steering would just be a layer of complexity that we would have to contend with. Plus, the big sets, they're pretty meaty boys. They're too heavy to stay airborne for long enough to really impress Mr. Guinness. So it became clear we needed something from the mid-range. and shut the front door. They did a fantastic range of monster trucks, and these were the proper business as well. They had some brilliant names like the Dragon and El Toro del Loco, and then Monster Mutt.
Oh yes. The rest of you writers start thinking up a name for this funky dog. I don't know, something along the lines of, say, Poochie, only more proactive. Yeah!
So they're based on a real range of monster trucks as well, and the star of the show is this naughty boy. This is Gravedigger. So in real life, for proper monster trucks, he has the record for the highest jump ever by a proper monster truck. So I only thought it was appropriate that in this project we use Gravedigger to go for the longest jump by a Lego vehicle. 2 records. Yeah. And there it was, there it is, we have it. We have selected our Lego vehicle. So on to the next. Let's build an awesome super ramp.
Dooby-doo-doo-doo-dooby-doo.
It was super important to build a huge ramp so that the Lego vehicle could build up enough speed and hit its terminal velocity, and then the ramp, it needs to level out and then jet out into a jump. Now, I'm no master carpenter, but how hard could it be? It turned out really, really, really hard. It took ages, but finally I was able to come up with something that I was happy with. This big wooden monstrosity. Now, it had 2 pretty significant problems. 1, it was butt ugly, and 2, it didn't actually work. Yeah, they were quite significant problems. The first one, they say, well, you can't polish a turd, but what you can do is wrap it in tinfoil. 40 metres of tinfoil later, stick a couple of sparklers on the end, and bish bash bosh, Robert is very much your mother's brother. This didn't help the functionality, but it did look a lot prettier. As for the functionality, I couldn't get the monster truck to stay running straight for the duration of the ramp. I tried everything, and then inspiration struck. So I saw my son playing with his Hot Wheels set, and I thought, I'm having that. A few adjustments later, and we had a proper functioning ramp. We had our Lego set, we had our ramp. All we need now is a ring of fire. It was really starting to come together.
Dooby-doo-doo-doo-dooby-doo.
Now again, in my head, this was going to
Gonna be super easy, barely an inconvenience.
I was going to buy a hula hoop, I was going to spray it with a bit of accelerant, I was going to hit it with the old flint and steel, and bingo bango. Now, you see, technically, this did work, but it was terrifying. I was genuinely very, very frightened. I've only got a small garden. I needed something much more controlled. So the solution that we came up with was sparklers. Now, it would be lacking in the same dramatic flair, but at least it didn't pose a present and immediate risk to all of my loved ones and everything I hold dear. Sparklers were the answer, but there was a problem. They had a relatively short burn time. You see, they would burn for about 30 seconds before they would just run out, fizzle out. So I would really only get one shot to get it at its finest glory. And there it was. The stage was set. Months of planning and prepping and wrapping things in tinfoil. And it all came down to this. One shot. History held its breath. centimetres. I gave my all to this project, but would it be enough for Mr. Guinness? Well, the man from Guinness, he said, yes! I did it! I set the world record! What do you think of that, bud?
I still get it.
What? It's nicking my belt! Oh, I don't even get to wear it!
It's technically my belt.
It's my belt!
It's technically my belt.
Fine, next week we're going to go head to head at Minecraft, and I'm a Minecraft expert. There's no chance you're going to beat me, bud.
I beat you in the last video.
Fine, we're going for it. Thanks so much. Please like, share and subscribe.